Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about my day today. It's talking. Sometimes I do ASMR whispers. This I'm just going to be talking. Pretty good day overall. Went to the gym. The kind of unique thing about this was after I was leaving the gym, there's a guy that I kind of know, like an acquaintance. He was walking by and he said like this dragon boat thing. There's a lake here. And apparently like it was kind of this open to the public tryout, and there was like 40 maybe 60 people there, and well, definitely 60 when I was there, because there's 3 boats of 20, so 60 with the volunteers, so more than 60 actually, probably closer to like 70-75 people. Yeah, and I rode a dragon boat with 19 other people today. It was kind of different. I've never done that before. I did kayaking, I want to say 3 times, twice as a kid, once as an adult, and our teenager, really, maybe 19 or something. So yeah, it was different. You kind of have the row this way and you kind of go straight down, so you don't have it like rowing it like you would a kayak or canoe. Pretty fun. I mean, you have to do it all in tandem, with a rhythm, because if you don't, you smack the oar on the person in front or behind you. That happened a couple times, but not too many times. I mean, it happened maybe, I don't know, 10 times or so. I don't think it was my fault. I think mostly it was, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter even if it was. But that was different. Then I went to the library. And I read a couple magazines. History Now, Maclean's or something like that, and Psychology Today. Kind of a funny story with the Psychology Today. There's like these half pencils at the library that people use to write down on a paper the book number so they can find it. And I saw one on the shelf, kind of just laying around outside of the box or whatever. So I'm like, that's cool. So I had a hat. I have a rimmed like era hat or whatever with the thing on it, and I just tucked it in like here and I had it out. I had this half pencil, like some people do that with a joint or a cigarette or something. And I thought I was like the coolest dude ever doing that. I was like, look at me, Mr. Library Man, intellectual with the pencil and the hat. I'm the coolest man of all time. And I had the pencil and the hat for maybe like, I don't know, 10-20 minutes. But I sat down and I was reading the Psychology Today, and somebody with a pencil vandalized the fuck out of the magazine. So then I'm like, well, what if this is like a Mr. Bean moment where like a librarian walks by me and sees this fucking heavily vandalized magazine with pencil, and then I have this pencil tucked in my hat, and it was like, it wasn't me, I was framed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just these crazy little quirky things in everyday life that could go wrong. But anyways, no one saw, and I didn't vandalize the thing, but it was kind of made it awkward having the pencil all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck? And anyways, the Psychology Today, like in the magazine, there was an article about like overly sensitive people, and then some of them are getting like an actual diagnosis for it, and that some people might be faking this to get kind of like concessions from people, like just kind of like pity or donations or like handouts or whatever. And like the guy vandalizing it, what he was like underlining and circling things and like taking notes in the side, like the margins, like you do in like a college or university class. So this guy was probably like early 20s, maybe like moderately college educated, and he was kind of just, he wasn't like drawing dicks like randomly or anything like that, but he was kind of being like a crybaby. Like, he was, obviously the article triggered him, and then he was like circling things and saying like, oh, well, this whole article is doing the same thing, so you're being hypocrites, da 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 da. And like there was like another article in there about like the gut microbiome and like health in the brain or whatever, and it says you should eat more fiber, and he like wrote on the side, maybe you should eat more fiber because of this, da 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 da. And like the irony here was the first one about the people that were kind of trying to get like handouts or whatever. It accused them of being like narcissistic and like whiny, but they didn't use whiny, but they definitely used narcissistic. And he basically proved the article right. And I didn't even really agree with the article, and it was very hard to follow the article with all his margin shit. I was kind of just reading his shit, and it was very annoying, to be honest. But yeah, so yeah, because he like highlighted narcissistic, and like what's more narcissistic than putting your opinions in a public library's magazine for everyone to read and get distracted. They can't even read the article, so you ruined the article. Like he made it so it's very hard to ignore, and he actually scribbled out like very heavily like over like paragraphs, so it was very hard to read. So like that's more narcissistic than like anything I've seen. Like he actually like did like a circle, and he's like, this is for like, you know, retards or whatever. Like complete narcissism. Kind of reminded me back of me in like grade school doing similar stuff to like social studies textbooks, and now I kind of feel bad about that in a minor way, although I was like 12 and this guy's probably twice that, because he did seem at least like, I can't make that. He could be the same age. He could be middle school or high school student, but he just seemed to be like a whiny young adult, because these were aimed at young adults, and that's the demographic I'm going to go with in my assumption here. But in middle school, the vandalism I kind of did to the textbooks weren't like any political or like whiny kind of look at me stuff. It was kind of like the super bad guy that drew dicks. Like that was the go-to to like, it wasn't just me. There was dicks already in the textbooks, and I just followed the template. And like every now and again, there'd be like a really perfect opportunity to do that, and it would be funny. Like there'd be a guy standing and his like pants would be by another person's mouth, or there'd be like some real super serious like setting, and then there'd be like some like elder of like this holy community of the church or something, and then you draw one on it on the nun or whatever, like whatever historical thing. Like I wouldn't laugh at that now, but when you're 13 or 12 or whenever that happened, it was funny at the time. But that's just kind of like a kid, middle school, teenage kind of adolescence chuckle between bros. This guy was actually like just trying to put out his own view onto the public library's property, and I didn't appreciate it. And it would have been shitty if they thought I did it because I had the pencil. Like I said, like I get into these kind of like kind of social anxiety, like a little bit of like things that could go wrong kind of things. Like I think social anxiety is kind of like this, it's almost like in itself a little micro version of autism. Like you're kind of always trying to read the room and like what everyone else is thinking, and you're kind of, it's just like a stiffness. Like you're always thinking too much, you're deconstructing too much. I think that's what causes social anxiety, is I think you're just in your head too much. At least I am, and that's my experience with this thing. Like you're always like, you can't be thinking that life is like a popularity contest. You can't be thinking too much what other people are going to think of you or say of you, or if they're looking at you. You kind of just got to do your own thing and just be your own unit. And then if someone comes up to you with some crazy ass shit, then you take it in that moment, but you don't live it and hold on to it inside. And just like, I think I either did already or it'll come out in the next couple of days. It's like this meme, and it says you suffer more in imagination than reality. That's basically what I'm saying right now. I don't want to go all like cringe pseudo intellectual right now, but I'm reading Spinoza ethics right now, and he has a similar thing where he deconstructs the Garden of Eden story in the book of Genesis. I think he was an atheist, but he was a Jew in the 1600s, and he pretty much said that it meant that man's problem came from consciousness, from being now aware that we're alive and we can die, and then we're no longer among the animals. And I think that's just how anyone would read that book of Genesis anyways. It's similar to what Jordan Peterson does when he deconstructs like basically the exact same kind of stuff that I just said. It's kind of, if you're an atheistic thinker and you kind of read these stories as like if they were just like a fairy tale or whatever, these are the conclusions you'd come to. It's nothing spectacular, but anyways, he went on to say that like free men aren't afraid to die, they live in the moment. If I could elaborate on my opinion on that for a second, I think you need the majority of society to be good-willed and also on that same platform for that to function, because there's a lot of Machiavellian people out there, which is unfortunate. But back to the social anxiety thing, the pencil thing, it wasn't bothering me too much. I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill here, but I just thought it was kind of funny, and I actually was, in that moment, I was less socially anxious and more anxious and having more of like a chuckle, like my God, that would be like a perfect Mr. Bean episode. Like if the librarian walked by and it was just all this like fucking petty vandalism with in pencil in this magazine, and I had this pencil in my hat, or I was twirling it in my fingers and whatnot, it would have been pretty funny. And that goes into another video that I just recently did about being misunderstood at work, when I was checking the laminate film on one of the tables to see if it was just scratched or if it actually needed to be cleaned. And the restaurant owner thought I was actually just wiping the table with my hand and not like properly cleaning it. And his face, like it was almost like a father being disappointed in his son. Like it was just like his heart was broken that I would do that, but it actually was just a misunderstanding. And obviously you can't just go up to him and say, hey, you misunderstood, because then he doubles down in his opinion then, and now you're just trying to shift blame or whatever, but it really didn't happen. So yeah, that was my day. I did the gym, the dragon boat, the library. I got some ice cream. Yay, ice cream. I'm going to watch a movie. I fell asleep halfway through. I was watching it yesterday, fell asleep halfway through. Well, I paused it, so I technically didn't fall asleep halfway through because I left the other half for today, but gonna do that. And then I might go out for like a night drive and listen to some lectures or something on my phone in my car. And not a drinker, I'm not a partier, I don't have wild Saturday nights. Something I will say I did pretty cool today that makes me look like a cool guy is I went crazy on the heavy bag at the gym today, and I did it bare knuckle. My knuckles aren't even scratched. I was doing it for a while, no wrist problems, no cut ups on the knuckles that aren't supposed to be hit. Like, it was pretty legit, and I was swinging it pretty hard. Not saying that swinging it means you're doing it good, because you got to time it so the swing is minimal and you don't fuck up or anything. But like, my shots were fucking just making that bag shake like crazy. So I'm the coolest. Everyone know how cool I am, and that not only do I put a pencil in my hat like this to make me look like, hey, look at me, I'm the library king here now, but I'm also fucking up the heavy bag. So I'm the Jungian duality of man over here, living my best life now, making these YouTube videos. I'm doing it. So anyways, I think I'll end this video here. Sorry if I disappointed anybody not whispering this one, because I usually whisper these, but today I just wanted to talk. I think I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do some talking, some whispering. Probably would have made more views and watch time hours if I whispered this, but I mean, it's still daytime. I don't feel very sleepy or whispery right now. I just feel like kind of just recording it as is, and then watching the movie, and then go out, and I might record an ASMR later tonight. I recorded some nature shorts. I had one of a bridge, some of some ducks, some of not a waterfall, but kind of just a creek that was kind of going down in elevation. There's like the rocks, and I forget what they call the white stuff that sucks in. It's kind of waterfall like. So I'll post those, and I'm getting a decent amount of subscribers. I got 20 subscribers today, which is nuts. 20 subscribers in a day. Like, usually that's what happens over a course of a month on this channel. So the algorithm might be accelerating my stuff. If it is, that is crazy good, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, I'm going to go now, and I'll probably record again today, and I have more in the queue. I hope everyone's enjoying this channel for whatever reason. Some are listening to the talks, some are listening to the whispers, some are watching the nature shorts. I have some how-tos, some reviews. I'm doing the odd movie review. Anyways, things are pretty good right now with me. Ups and downs in life, always like a roller coaster, but today was good. A little bit cold, no rain, but cloudy, windy. Anyways, peace out, dudes. Thanks for being on the channel, and love y'all. Okay, bye.